Understood. Oh, it's you. Why are you so dressed up? Are you here to say farewell because you're resigning? No, I came by to extend my greetings, as your company has now become our subsidiary. ¿Qué?
Trouble Busters!
My name is Alan. I'm a 31-year-old who's working diligently at a construction site. I'm a construction worker at the Great Steel Plate Constructions. Once I become buff, I'll look like a reliable man, and I'm sure I'll be popular among girls. Uh-oh, he's here! That's Mr. Sanders, the department head from the HQ. Alan, you should watch out for that guy. Disculpe que le moleste durante su hora de almuerzo. Sir? Will you please not speak to us in Spanish? Ay, lo siento. I'm so sorry about that. I'm still in the habit that I got into when I attended college to study international studies. Break is over. Let's get back to work. Oh, there's a lot to learn, even from guys like you. I'm telling you as a college graduate, so I know that I'm right. I had a terrible first impression of Mr. Sanders, and ever since then, he's been visiting our site, saying that he's here to motivate us. And then... Are you telling me to stop visiting to motivate you guys? Yes, I went through everything you said in order to motivate us in the last 3 days, but you've been talking about things that are irrelevant to our work, and it's been causing problems. I'd only like to discuss with you how to keep our work efficient. No, I know everything about efficiency, because I graduated from college. But you haven't realized it. There's nothing to realize about what's not even true. This is dangerous. I feel insecure. This is scary. Huh? Mr. Troy, I know you're trying to protect Alan, but then, this is a very concerning matter. Of course, I'll be happy to bring someone here to replace Alan. But then, oh, Troy, I'm fine. Alan. His name is Mr. Sanders from HQ, and I'm gonna remember his name. I'm not letting him get away with this. Trouble Busters! Alright, Morris, let's watch another training video. All I've been doing is watching training videos to a point where I'm brainwashed. Would I be able to go to the site? Not so hasty. I'm just setting you up for success. Have you already moved on to the next person after I decided to leave? Huh? Oh, it's you. Why are you so dressed up? Are you here to say farewell because you're resigning? No. I came by to extend my greetings, as your company has now become our subsidiary. What? What the heck? Do you get to say whatever you want just because you're quitting? You should have used that audacity before you resigned. No, I'm telling the truth. Hey, you're not supposed to forge your business card. How dare you speak to the CEO of Red Home's top team like that? Oh my goodness, Mr. Chestaccio, the CEO, and Miss Tracy, the COO? Mr. Allen, thank you very much for sparing your time to visit our office today. Huh? Mr. Chestaccio, why are you thanking this guy?
Don't you get it after seeing what's going on? Mr. Allen is the Chief Executive Officer of the Red Home's top team, which is the parent company of Great Steel Plate Constructions.
Is he real then? Seems like you finally understood. But why? The best way to understand a subsidiary is to get inside it. Once you wear the armor of a CEO, you can no longer see people's true nature or intentions. That's why I chose to work among the crew as a field worker. I'll admit, part of it was also to get in shape. You're kidding. This guy can't be the CEO of the leading construction company? Mr. Sanders, you said to say whatever I want if there's something I'd like to say. Oh, I actually remembered that I needed to go somewhere urgently.
Since this conversation is more urgent and at a higher priority, I'll go ahead and handle the other urgent matter. So please, go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I can't think of anything. Brain cells that generate evil schemes? Activate! I'm sorry, but I don't think that matter was really urgent.
Of course not.
Let me continue. Speaking from the conclusion, I'd like to request your cooperation in conducting a behavioral assessment. I'm sorry, but I'd have to mention that I haven't done anything to be disciplined about. I see. Thank you very much. Does that mean that you're willing to cooperate in this behavioral assessment because there's nothing for you to hide? I don't have the time to be dealing with that. All my sites are very busy, and I would even ask for a helping hand from a kitten. Are you sure about that? Doesn't seem so. Excuse me? If you were so busy, why didn't you send me, before my resignation, or Morris, to the construction site? Well, Morris still needs to be trained, and I decided that he needs to watch more training videos before he can be sent to. Don't you think that watching that video once will be enough for him to be called ready to work at the site? That's what you might assume, but I, Sanders, am in charge of all decision-making for the site. I see. So you've determined that he hasn't watched the video enough. That's right. Or else I wouldn't be doing this. In that case, have you reflected back on the effectiveness of the video? Yeah? You judged him to be lacking in education and had him watch instructional videos day after day, but did that method actually work? Was there any real, tangible result at all? Yes, there was. Is that true? Yes, it's true. Mr. Sanders, I'd like to resolve this matter as smoothly and promptly as possible. In that case, let's forget about doing this to begin with. In that case, please, stop lying. Huh? Lying? Why would I lie about anything? It's because you're hiding something. No, I'm not. You're just making things up. In that case, there seems to be no awareness of the lack of results, no ability to reflect on that fact, and ultimately, no capacity for self-correction. Would it be fair to conclude as much? You can't say that without any source of evidence. I have evidence. Present it then. Hey, Sanders, watch your mouth! It's okay, Mr. Chistachio. That's not the biggest concern at this time. Understood. I would never interrogate you in such a manner without being prepared to discuss this matter. This is a copy of the work journal of the individual who was instructed by Mr. Sanders to undergo training through instructional videos. And where are these people? Miss Tracy spared a moment to look into this.
After looking into this, everyone who had gone through the instructional video in the past 2 years has voluntarily resigned.
Thank you very much, Miss Tracy. All of them have chosen to voluntarily resign. Do you have anything to say about this? A voluntary resignation is a voluntary resignation. Why do you make it sound as if this was my fault? It's because all of them have chosen to voluntarily resign. What I'm saying is that their resignation has nothing to do with how I do things, and you can't prove otherwise. I'm deeply concerned by the fact that despite a definitive 100% turnover rate, no countermeasures have been implemented over the past 2 years. Furthermore, I find it troubling that your training methods have failed to retain a single employee, and yet you show no apparent concern for the human impact of this outcome. I said that was... Therefore, I would like to conduct a behavioral assessment. Is this fine by you? Behavioral? Why do you have to make it sound so overblown? I would like you to realize the severity of your concerning behavior. I would like you to understand. Have you been aware? Have you been aware of your own mistakes? No matter what happens, quitters will quit. That's all there is to it. Am I speaking in a different language? What I'm asking you is, why did you never try a different training method when all of the trainees have resigned after going through your current method? Because I found it too risky to send them to the site without being equipped with enough knowledge. But as a result, they all resigned, right? And why didn't you use a different method? I said it was because I found it too risky to send them to the site without being equipped with enough knowledge. If that's your answer, you haven't been fulfilling your job duties. What? Yes, I have! And that's why I've been able to become the department head. You're falsely criticizing me! That was because you were promoted before Great Steel Plate Constructions didn't have a parent company, right? That's right, but that's not relevant. Please, only answer what you're asked about. You can just say yes or no. If I wasn't doing my job right, I wouldn't have become the department head. And maybe there's a problem with whoever decided to promote me. If there's someone who should be responsible, it would be someone who has a higher position than I, right? Don't you agree? You're a department head. This means that you're executing your job to be in charge of the department, correct? Don't you think some responsibilities come along with your position? If someone else needs to be responsible for what you've done, it contradicts the whole purpose of your position. Am I wrong? But whoever promoted, even then, you're not entitled to shout out about that. Please, do not say anything that you're not entitled to shout out. You're only wasting my time. Duh! Do you have any argument about what I said? This is enough! What the heck is wrong with this guy? He's invincible! Now that Great Steel Plate Construction has become my subsidiary company, the employees and their families are under my protection. Of course, you would have to make a careful decision on whether to send a team member to the site or not. If we don't make the right decision, they can be seriously hurt. Oh, I guess you know what my intention was then. And you know nothing at all, huh? Yeah? Before making the team members understand the safety measures of the work environment, it's more important to ensure that they don't end up resigning. I'm not disciplining you about the method that you're taking, but I am disciplining you for not correcting your method. You wouldn't reflect back on the training contents, and you were unaware of the turnover. Do you really think such a person deserves to be in a position that requires training? Mr. Chestaccio, anything from you regarding this? I take full responsibility for everything that has happened. In that case, shouldn't we be hiring talented people who I can feel that they're safe to send out to the sites? You should say that after you've done things on your end. You never looked back. You never tried. You never fixed. This can even be considered job abandonment. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, I'd like you to provide the argument. Someone who failed to take any action has no business being in charge of hiring. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'll make sure I correct myself moving forward. So isn't that enough? I'm sorry, I can't wait. Why not? It's because I don't feel that you're sincere based on your words and body gestures. Isn't that just your impression and personal comment? It's an impression, and it's a result. It's not like I'm telling you that you look like you suck at your job, so you're not getting promoted, or anything similar in that nature. I've said this multiple times already, but you've been executing a training method that leads to a 100% turnover rate. And this only leads to the fact that you've abandoned and neglected your job duties. And this leads to the fact that you have to be responsible for the result of that. Am I right? Isn't that all going to depend on your generosity? I'm not protecting you. Please protect me. Just because you're the department head doesn't mean you can expect special treatment. Not disciplining those who need to be disciplined will start an organization to rot from there. Therefore, we'll be taking action regarding this matter. Since it's your responsibility to ensure the role functions properly, isn't that simply what's expected of you? Shut up! Just shut up! Well, this doesn't end here. Huh? Isn't it? This was regarding you. Now we're going to discuss money. Regarding the maintenance budget you submitted for your assigned area this year, the figures don't add up. Huh? I'm familiar with the prices and types of all equipment and materials. Yeah? To be specific about the discrepancy, the budgeted amount is noticeably higher than the actual expenses, isn't it? What are you trying to imply? Are you gonna make me say it? I don't even know what you're trying to tell me, so you can't be asking me if I'm going to make you something? Look, I'm questioning your ethical values, whether you're going to admit that you've been embezzling, or if you're going to wait until the evidence is presented and you realize that you can't get away with it. Hold on. It would be evident to anyone's eyes whether the former or the latter would be a more sincere action, right? We already have the evidence. If you're not going to talk about this, we'll go ahead and utilize the evidence we have in our hands to take appropriate actions. This decision will affect the rest of your life greatly. If you admit, it would be only a civil matter. But if you're going to choose to pretend as if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it'll be both civil and criminal. Lawsuits. Now, I'm a busy man as well. While the urgency is high, I'd like to wrap up this task of merely eliminating these negatives as soon as possible. I'll give you 60 seconds. 60 seconds? I'm not your father. I don't have all the time in the world to give the villain time to decide on how to proceed. If I have the time to spend on you, I'd rather spare my time for someone who's diligent and ethical. Shut up! If that's what you're going to say, why can't you just play around to be hypocritical with those types of people instead of spending time dealing with me? No. Excuse me? I'm asking, how much do you know? I see. Is that your final answer? I despise you quite badly. You're trying to hide what you can hide despite all that I said, correct? No, I'm just not mentally ready, and that's why— My ears are about to rot if you keep talking, so please, stop vocalizing. It seems that villains always get everything wrong without exception. I'm sorry, I changed my mind. Please forgive me. It's too late. There's no point in apologizing after you made up your mind. Not only did you commit embezzlement, but you've also breached the trust, so your company's done. No, I'm not done yet. I'm apologizing because I don't want to be done yet. You're apologizing because you don't want to be done yet, huh? Oh, Mr. Sanders, a future that matches the consequences of your actions awaits you. Oh, please, help me! I'm sorry! I'll never put any money into my pocket again! I'll acknowledge people who aren't college graduates, so please, sir! Mr. Allen! Thus, the corrupt part known as Mr. Sanders was removed, and Great Steel Plate Constructions was restored to normalcy and health. He was charged with embezzlement and breach of trust, sentenced to 3 years and 3 months of suspended prison time, and the embezzled funds of $67,200 were ordered to be fully reimbursed through a civil lawsuit. Although he wasn't sentenced to imprisonment with a criminal record, he realized he had no future with the company and ended up leaving. His wife broke up with him, and he currently lives in a small apartment while he works for a manual labor job to afford to feed himself. How did this happen? When I used to be the department head of Great Steel Plate Construction. On the other hand, Tracy and I decided to go on a date because she said that I seemed to be very reliable during this entire incident. However,
Mr. Allen, you are very quiet during your personal time. What happened to you? You're a completely different person.
this is my true self. I love girls, but I'm not very good with them.
You should have told me that sooner.
Anyway, what do you think about the battle guard that prevents players from guarding their feet at second base?
I don't know. That has nothing to do with what we were just talking about.
I can only reveal my true self when I'm either defiant, speaking in Spanish, or in front of my friends. Someone help me. Where's my future wife? Trouble Busters!